Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for October the 12th, 2010. Now our first position for tonight is going to be in the January lumber futures contracts. We can see that we have a fresh crossover from Vantage Point on the triple EMA cross. Our predicted medium-term difference has just crossed over the zero line. Our long-term predicted difference is moving towards that zero line, so everything looks good there. Predicted MACD getting ready to just cross that trigger, so above the zero line, again suggesting a trending move is close. Our predicted true strength indicator also looking good here. It hasn't quite crossed over the trigger back to the upside, but that's very close. So let's have a look at our key levels of support. We have 247.20, 249.20, and 252.70 with a close of 252.90. Now, what this looks like, what we want to do here now is look for a slight pullback to get into fresh long. So now that we've identified excuse me, that we want to get into a long position, let's now have a look at the daily report from Vantage Point. Now, looking at the daily report, we can see here we have 254.20 as the low and 260.40 as the high. So 254.20 is where we're looking to get into fresh new long positions, respecting that long-term or the triple EMA crossover, excuse me. So 254.20. Let's now match that up to the 3, the 8, and the 18-day. We can see that we have 252.70. I actually like that entry point a little bit better. I would expect a bit of a deeper pullback than 254. However, your less aggressive traders can go after the the 252.70 area. Now your more aggressive traders would go after the daily low, which would be 254. Either way, we're looking for a move up over the 260 area, so a good move on the January lumber futures contracts is anticipated. Now, what we also want to do is go in and have a quick look at some of these crossovers and just make sure that everything is still lining up, because we have a bit of a mixed signal on that predicted MACD and that predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point. Now, the first one we want to look at is the short-term crossover. We can see that it's still going to the upside, and of course, we never trade off that short-term indicator anyway, so it's not really a big issue for us. Now, looking at the medium-term crossover, that is something that matters to us, and we can see that the crossover to the upside is very, very fresh, which is a good sign. So now what we want to also do is look at the long-term crossover and see what's happening there. The long-term crossover has not crossed to the upside yet, so that is a warning sign for us. The short and the medium term suggest that the lumber contracts are going to move higher, but again, the longer term, we're still a little bit mixed there, but the triple EMA cross has crossed, so everything still looks good for that move higher. Now, our second position for tonight is going to be in the cross currency pairs, specifically the Australian CAD dollar. Now, looking at the Australian Canadian dollar here, we have a very strong uptrend from Vantage Point. The initial buy signal came here actually before August. This thing's been going steadily higher. Now, point of interest here is the predicted MACD and the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point that have both crossed to the downside. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all starting to move lower. This suggests that this pair is getting ready for a much bigger move to the downside. So we are going to enter into what could be considered a counter trend position. However, the strength of this is really the Australian dollar. The strength of the Australian dollar against the cross pairs is really starting to run out of steam here. So with this pair, respecting the fact that it is counter trend, we're going to go into the daily report from Vantage Point, and we're actually going to be looking for the predicted high. Now, looking at tomorrow, we can see that our predicted high is 1.0022. The low is 99.24. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking to set short positions about the 1.0010 area approximately. And then for a longer term, short-term traders will want to exit around 99.24, but your longer term traders may want to look for a much bigger move to the downside, potentially towards that 98, 97 area. Now again, the only reason I say that is because when we look at, if we go back to our main chart, we look where the predicted true strength indicator from Vantage Point is crossed over. We're in basically no man's land up here. It's crossed over in heavily overbought territory, same as the predicted MACD. Both of these suggest that we're getting ready for a much bigger move to the downside. Now you'll notice that I don't have the predicted RSI or the predicted stochastics up here because these two indicators, in my opinion, provide a much cleaner signal. So with that said, again, for tomorrow, we're looking at the 1.0015 area. Day traders, 99.24 is where you would want to exit. Your more position traders would be looking for 200 to 300 pips, probably back towards the 98 to the 97 area, but again, that'll have to be left to be seen. So those are the market positions for October the 12th, 2010. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.